Good morning. I'm Sudha, working as an Associate Professor of Chemistry in Nalla Narasimha Reddy Engineering College. I'm going to explain you about molecular orbital energy level diagrams. The energy levels of various atomic and molecular orbitals are represented in a molecular orbital energy level diagram. So while drawing the energy level diagram, the atomic orbitals of the atoms are drawn on the left, whereas the molecular orbitals are drawn in the middle. While representing a molecular orbital energy level diagram, the atomic orbitals of the two atoms are drawn on the left and right side, whereas the molecular orbitals are drawn in the middle. So this is the representation of a molecular orbital energy level diagram. Now, when the atomic orbitals combine with each other, they produce molecular orbitals. This I have explained in my previous videos. And in general, n number of atomic orbitals overlap with each other and generate n number of molecular orbitals. For example, if two atomic orbitals combine with each other, they generate two molecular orbitals. Similarly, if 6 atomic orbitals overlap with each other, they generate 6 molecular orbitals. And among those molecular orbitals, few are known as bonding molecular orbitals, which possess lower energy, and few are anti-bonding molecular orbitals, which possess higher energy. So, and these two types of molecular orbitals are differentiated by representing a star on the molecular orbitals. The molecular orbitals which are represented by a star are known as anti-bonding molecular orbitals. They possess higher energy. Now, the atomic orbitals, they combine in different fashions, like they may overlap end to end or they may overlap laterally. If they overlap end to end, then that produces a sigma bond in between the atoms in a molecule. Now that molecular orbital is called as sigma molecular orbital. Similarly, if the atomic orbitals overlap laterally, then they generate a pi bond. That means a pi molecular orbital is produced. So we have sigma molecular orbitals and pi molecular orbitals. And the atomic orbitals generate bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Now, the different molecular orbitals that are produced are sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s, sigma 2pz, pi 2px, pi 2py, pi star 2px, pi star 2py, and sigma star 2pz. These are the molecular orbitals that are generated for some simple diatomic molecules. Now, the energy order for these in general is represented as sigma 1s less than sigma star 1s. It is lesser in energy than sigma 2s, than sigma star 2s. This possesses lower energy than sigma 2pz. Sigma 2pz orbital possesses lower energy than pi 2px and pi 2py. Now, these both molecular orbitals possess same energy and they are said to be degenerate molecular orbitals. Now, this set of pi molecular orbitals possess lower energy than another set of pi orbitals which are anti-bonding, which are represented as pi star 2px and pi star 2py. This pi star 2p set is lesser in energy than sigma star 2pz. So among the different molecular orbitals, sigma star 2pz is the highest molecular orbital, whereas sigma 1s is the lowest energy molecular orbital. This is the lowest energy molecular orbital, whereas sigma star 2pz is the highest energy molecular orbital. Now, there are some atoms where the energy pattern is different, like especially it is different in case of sigma 2pz and this pi set. Right, so that change in energy order is mainly observed in smaller atoms like lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, and nitrogen. That means mainly the atoms with less than 3 electrons in the p orbital. The atoms that contain less than 3 electrons in the p orbital show a different pattern of energy order in the molecular orbitals. That difference in energy order in these smaller atoms is mainly because of the overlap of the s and p orbitals in the atoms. And that process is called as sp mixing. This overlapping of s and p atomic orbitals, it is mainly because of similar energies between s and p orbitals in the smaller atoms. So that is the reason why the energy order is a little bit different than the normal pattern. Whereas in the other atoms, that means from oxygen and higher elements, the p orbital contains paired electrons. So that pairing of electrons, they increase the energy of the p orbital. So in those molecules, that means oxygen, fluorine, neon, and so on, the 2p orbitals are higher in energy than the 2s orbitals. So in those molecules, the mixing of s and p atomic orbitals is not seen, or it is very less. Whereas in the lower simple diatomic molecules, in the smaller diatomic molecules, that means from lithium to nitrogen, this mixing of s and p atomic orbitals is prominent, and that mixing changes the energy order of the molecular orbitals. So this is the energy pattern for the molecules, for the smaller molecules like lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, and nitrogen, where the energy order is sigma 1s less than sigma star 1s less than sigma 2s less than sigma star 2s. See, after this sigma star 2s, the electrons enter into pi 2px and pi 2py. Now this pi set is lesser in energy than sigma 2pz, which is lesser in energy than pi star 2px and pi star 2py, and this is lesser in energy than sigma star 2pz. So only we find the energy, the change in energy order among these molecular orbitals. That means sigma 2pz and pi 2px, pi 2py. So this change in energy order in case of the molecules from lithium to nitrogen is mainly because of the mixing of the s and p atomic orbitals, where the phenomenon is known as sp mixing. Now this is the comparison of the energy level diagrams between the molecules with sp mixing and without sp overlap. See, this is the pattern of the, or this is the molecular orbital energy level diagram without sp mixing. That means this is the general energy order in the molecular orbital. See, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s, after that sigma 2p z, pi set and pi star set, and sigma star 2p orbital. Whereas in the molecules where the sp mixing is observed or it is prominent, the energy order is different in this case. That means after sigma star 2s, the energy, the molecular orbitals which are lower in energy are pi 2px and pi 2py, then sigma 2pz. See, if you observe this here, the change in energy is mainly among these two. So that is the energy order of the molecular orbital energy, molecular orbitals in the molecules with sp mixing and without sp mixing. Now, any molecular orbital, whether it may be bonding or anti-bonding, each can accommodate a maximum of 2 electrons. And these electrons are filled in the molecular orbitals based on 3 rules, which are Aufbau principle, Hund's rule, and Pauli's exclusion principle. You have already studied in the intermediate about the Aufbau principle, Hund's rule, and Pauli's exclusion principle. So where Aufbau principle states that lower energy orbitals are filled first and then the higher energy orbitals. Now this is the energy of the various atomic orbitals like which is called as Euler's diagram, where 1s is lesser in energy than 2s, then 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, and so on. So the electrons first enter into 1s, then 2s, then 2p, then 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, and etc. So according to Aufbau principle, the lower energy molecular orbital is filled first. That means the sigma 1s orbital is filled first. Now the second rule is Hund's rule, which is mainly applicable to degenerate orbitals. Degenerate orbitals are those which possess same energy. So in those degenerate orbitals, the electrons are singly filled first and then pairing occurs. See here I give you one example. So nitrogen, if we consider the example of nitrogen consisting of 7 electrons. So first the 2 electrons enter into 1s orbital. Now once the orbital is completely filled, then the electrons enter into the higher energy orbital. So once 1s orbital is completely filled, the electrons will enter into 2s. So 2s is also completely filled with 2 electrons. Now we have 3 electrons left over to distribute in the 2p orbitals. Those 3 electrons are not distributed in this way, because as all the 3 2p orbitals are degenerate, once the degenerate orbitals are singly filled, then only pairing occurs. So among the degenerate orbitals, the electrons are singly filled first and then pairing occurs. That is Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, which is mainly applicable to degenerate orbitals. Now the third rule is Pauli's exclusion principle, where each orbital can hold a maximum of 2 electrons with opposite spins. That means no 2 electrons in an orbital will possess all the 4 quantum numbers the same. So the molecule, like the atomic orbitals, molecular orbitals are also filled with the electrons based on Aufbau principle, Hund's rule, and Pauli's exclusion principle. Now, in the representation of the molecular orbital energy level diagrams, in general, if you see any textbooks, the innermost electrons or the core electrons from the configuration and also from the molecular orbital diagram is completely omitted. That means it is not represented for convenience. So the energy level diagram or the configuration include only the valence electrons. So we can draw the innermost electrons also. We can include the innermost electrons in the configuration also. But if you refer any, like most of the textbooks, in those, the innermost electrons are completely omitted from the configuration as well as from the molecular orbital energy level diagram. So this is the introduction to molecular orbital energy level diagram. So the atomic orbitals are drawn on the left, whereas molecular orbitals are drawn in the center. Now let us see the molecular orbital energy level diagrams for some simple molecules, simple diatomic molecules. The first is nitrogen. So nitrogen has the atomic number of 7, having the configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. That means 2px1, 2py1, and 2pz1. So two nitrogen atoms combine with each other and produce a nitrogen molecule. So as each nitrogen has 7 electrons, the total number of electrons present in the nitrogen molecule is 14. So we have to distribute 14 electrons in the molecular orbitals. Now, as nitrogen is one of the elements which contain less than 3 electrons, now this molecule shows sp mixing. That means sp mixing is prominent in this nitrogen molecule. So the energy order is not as the general pattern. That means after sigma star 2s, the electrons will enter into pi set, but not sigma 2p. Okay, because the nitrogen has less than or has only 3 electrons in the p orbital. Now let us distribute the 14 electrons in the molecular orbitals that are produced. See here, this is the energy level diagram of the nitrogen molecule. The atoms are represented on the sides, the two atoms or the atomic orbitals of the two atoms, whereas molecular orbitals are represented in the middle. Now 14 electrons means first the electrons enter into sigma 1s orbital, which will be completely filled with 2 electrons. Now the third electron will enter into sigma star 1s. Fourth electron also enter into sigma star 1s orbital. Now once the sigma star 1s is completely filled, the next electron enters into sigma 2s, right? So the other electron also enters into sigma 2s orbital. So till here 6 electrons are distributed. Now the next 2 electrons will enter into sigma star 2s. So 8 electrons are completed. Now coming to the next electron, the next electron enter into pi 2p x orbital. That means the 9th electron. Now 10th electron will not enter into pi 2px, but it enters into pi 2py because these two are degenerate. Now here Hund's rule is applied. So the 10th electron will enter into pi 2pz orbital. Now this pi 2p set is exactly half filled with 1 electron each. Now 11th electron will enter again into pi 2px, then the 12th one into pi 2py, right? Now these orbitals are completely filled, the next electron will enter into sigma 2pz. The next 2 electrons will enter into sigma 2pz. So the configuration is written as sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, pi 2px2, pi 2py2, and sigma 2pz2. This is the electronic configuration of nitrogen molecule. And this is the energy level diagram for nitrogen molecule. Now these energy level diagrams also explain the bond order and also the magnetic properties. So bond order is calculated using the formula half into number of electrons in the bonding molecular orbitals minus number of electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbitals, which are represented as NB and NA. So bond order is calculated as half into NB minus NA. So we have the electrons, the number of electrons in bonding molecular orbitals are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So there are 10 electrons in bonding molecular orbitals, whereas the electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbitals are 2 plus 2, 4. So there are 10 electrons in bonding molecular orbitals and 4 electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So half into 10 minus 4, that equals to 3. That means 3 bonds are present between 2 nitrogen atoms in a molecule. That means a triple bond. So in that triple bond, one is sigma bond and the other 2 are pi bonds. Now the magnetic properties of any molecule are explained by considering the unpaired electrons. If the molecular orbital contains any unpaired electron, then that molecule is said to be paramagnetic. If they do not contain any unpaired electrons, the molecule is said to be diamagnetic. Now, if we see in this molecular orbital energy level diagram for nitrogen, all the molecular orbitals are completely filled with 2 electrons. Okay, all the molecular orbitals are completely filled with 2 electrons. Whatever the electrons are distributed in the molecular orbitals, those molecular orbitals are completely filled. Now there are no unpaired electrons in the nitrogen. So the nitrogen molecule is diamagnetic in nature. So that is the bond order present in between the two nitrogen atoms in a molecule and the magnetic properties. So that is the molecular orbital energy level diagram for nitrogen. Molecular orbital diagrams for oxygen and fluorine I'll explain in the next video.